Hey gamers, today we're going to look at the board game Ulm. Let's check it out. To set up for the game, each player is going to get 12 of their little seals here of their color. They're also going to get 3 little player shields they may play out on the board during the game. They're also going to get a little boat of their color too that starts here at the -11 spot on the river here. You have a little church which counts as a round tracker. Every round you're going to put one of these tiles up into it, and that's going to count the rounds there. For an advanced game, you can flip these over, and they also count as event cards too that will change the rules a little bit each round if you want to do that. You have a deck of cards here you're going to shuffle. You have a bunch of tiles here. There's 8 total, so you shuffle them up and you put 4 out into these spaces here. You have a deck of little player shields here that you're going to use in the game. You'll put them over there. You'll take one of each type of tile from this bag and place them over here in this area, and then you're randomly going to select tiles to place in this little area, the courtyard here. Now, you're also going to have some sparrow tokens and coins, pile them over to the side. And I should also mention each player starts with 5 victory points at the beginning of the game. Now, how the game goes is very simple. What you're going to do is just draw a tile randomly from this bag, and then you're going to push this tile orthogonally across the board, either like that or vertically like that. Not as sloppy though. And then you're going to take the actions that you see in the center, not here in the outlining areas, but just in the center areas. So these 3, not that one. And so how it works is, let's just say I took this one and I pushed it this way. Well, then I have 3 actions I can take. One is the boat action, which is very simple. All you're going to do is move your boat 1 space. Now, if it was yellow's turn and they moved their player boat 1 space, they would skip any spaces that are occupied by another player and move up to the next available space. That's how you move the boat. This little checkerboard one here lets you clear the board of any excess tiles from the outer areas and claim them in your own little player area. So for instance, I could claim this little tile and put it in my player area. Also, if you see, we have this one here. This is the coin. If this was pushed, let's say instead of doing that, I had done this instead, I would get a coin. In this case, I would get 2 coin. And that's very important because another action here is to buy a seal. When purchasing seals, you need to have the seal action plus 2 coins. And it even says that here on the board here. But anyway, if I was to do that, I could purchase a seal anywhere in any area where my boat is. Now after I leave an area, and there are little dividers here on the board to kind of show you where where your boundaries are. But right now, I can only play in 2 areas. If I moved up 1, I could still play in this area, and then I could also play in this area, but this area would be out of bounds for me now because I've already passed it. So you need to know, and that's sometimes you'll see some of these boat movements say, hey, you can move 0 to 2. And you're like, why would I move 0? Because sometimes you may want to stay there and take advantages of some of the privileges you get in that certain area. But anyway, you would just place your token in that area and then collect the reward that's stated below on the shields here. Now I should mention everything. These players, the shields, what they do, this stack here, these cards here are easily explained in this rule book. This is the first time you play it, you'll have to go through it and see what the iconography means for each one. But even the roof tiles here, they'll tell you what each one means. This is very simple, very straightforward, excellent rule book to help you, not get too confused. After you play it a few times, you will understand without even having to check this. I think after the 3rd time, we didn't even bother looking at this anymore, and barely at the 2nd time. First time, you will go through it a lot. Anyway, though, so when you place one of your shields there, you take the action. Now, there are only a certain amount of spots in each area, and so if it's full, you can no longer, of course, take that action. Now, the last action I didn't mention was this one, the little card action. When you have the card action, you should have tiles in your area. Remember, I told you this little checkerboard helps you clear off tiles. So maybe, let's say I had a few of my tiles right like this. Well, if I have tiles right like this, then what I can do is I can spend some to get a card. If I spend two different types, I put them back into the the bag here, and I could just take the top card. However, if I had two of the same type, I could put both of those back in the bag, pick the top two cards, look at them, and choose one. Now, all these cards have different meanings, and they're very self-explanatory here. But the thing is, you can take an immediate action with them, as you see here, immediately, and get some points, or you can wait till the end of the game and have big points, maybe. Some of them are just big, bonuses at the end. Some of them are set collection. If I get 3 barrel guys, I can get 15 points. I have a piece of the church. If I just have it at the end of the game, it's only worth 3 victory points. But if I can get all 3 pieces of the church, that's going to be 18 victory points. Ooh! Now, any card that you get on your turn, you may not play on the same turn, but on every round, you may play a card from your hand, not one that you recently received. The only time you can play more than one card from your hand is when taking this action here. Let's say that the player had drawn one of these and they picked this and they pushed that out. Well, they had 2 card actions. What they can do is, if they have the tiles, leftover tiles, they can purchase 2 cards, or they can play those 2 cards instead. And it's on top of the 1 card they get to play per round. So it's your call whether you want to get more cards or play more cards from your hand. You will be collecting a lot of cards as the game goes through, because a lot of them can count for in-game victory points. The other action, the shields here, this ties into actions here on the board. There are 2 areas here and here where it'll show the iconography of, hey, grab 2 of these and choose one. So you would grab 2 of these and look at them and choose one. The silver just give you immediate bonus points, and that's it. The gold give you bonus points and additional bonus points if people land in that area. And the icons on it match the icons here on the board. This one you wouldn't have to put out, neither one. You take these into your hand, but for the gold, what you do is take one of your 3 personal player shields and put it over the icon that matches this. So it'd be right here. Now what that means is I instantly got 3 victory points. From here on out, anyone who puts their seals in this area here, including myself, I will always get a victory point. And so you can choose to do that if you want. Of course, you can have a max of 3 shields out on the board. So you only get to choose one of these. Now the other one goes into the discard pile. But when you have one, you can also take a seal from your player area and match it to the icon that's around this board. So it matches this one, so I put it right here. What that means is the next time, let's say the next player comes through here and they push things this way, even if it was me. If things get pushed over into my area, I get 1 Sparrow token. Now Sparrow tokens can be cashed in at the end of the game for 1 victory point. However, you may not keep them long, because Sparrow tokens can also do this. You draw a tile from your bag. Let's say I didn't want a boat action. I need money. I want that money. Well, here's that 1 of each tile you had to plan out at the beginning of the game. For the cost of a Sparrow token, I can cash it in and replace this boat and grab the one that I really wanted, because I really need a lot of money, and maybe do that, and haha, now I get 3 coins. Finally some money. Now that stays like that. You can keep switching them out, and people will be cashing in Sparrow tokens to switch those out in the game, just to get the right action or specific action that they want. Now the game ends, of course, when all of these little roof tiles are done, and after that you will add up any last minute points, any game ending points. From there, you're also going to add up points on the river as well, I should mention, because anything before the bridge is negative points. Anything past the bridge is positive points. And of course, whoever has the most points at the end of the game wins. Final thoughts, what do I think about the game? Well, kind of funny story. I went to a college that actually changed their name to ULM, and every time I bring this out, my gaming group goes, is it the game off from the college? No, they wish. The college wishes it was this cool of a game. But Ulm. Now, that's a very uninspiring name. If you look at the board, you went, this game looks kind of boring, Matt. And I thought so too. I mean, I've known about this game for years, and I've always passed it up because you can find it for super cheap online, even brand new, but usually you can get it for cheap too. And I thought, oh, that means it's probably not that good a game. What was I thinking? I kept coming back to it. Whenever Board Game Geek, you like these games, they'll suggest other games you may like. And this one just kept popping up again and again and again. I was like, well, dang it, let me look into it. So I looked into it a little bit further, and I got it. And I'm so glad I did. I think it's a fantastic game. It plays really fast too. I was shocked. I brought this out as one of the big games for the night, you know, and by the time we finished playing, I was like, oh, okay, let's play something else. I mean, it plays really quick and you can easily understand it. Once you get the iconography down, once you kind of know what everything means, then you just start playing boom, 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 and getting those little bonus tokens that those old players, man, those are, oh, it gave me the win one time because I just sat there, didn't move my boat at all, and then just kept sitting there, and I grabbed up 3 out of the 4 little helpers, and ooh, I rocked it. Don't let anyone get away with getting those helpers. At least every player should get at least 1 helper. And sometimes you don't want to move your boat. A lot of times people do want to move, because if you get to the very end, not only are you getting positive bonus points at the end of the game, but you're also getting bonuses, and then there's something at the end there that lets you grab cards from the discard pile, which, unbelievable, right? Because you're trying to get the set that you didn't start off at the beginning with, but now you've almost got. But man, I'm missing that 1 card. I know I discarded it way a long time ago. If you can make it to the end, which is really hard, and place one of your seals there, whoo, going through that deck, picking the cards you want, ooh, that would be some big bonus points too. This game, like I said, moves fast. Probably the first time you don't want to flip over the tiles for the advanced version to do the events, but after the first play, you do want to do that. We did it on the first play, and it kind of slowed the game down a little bit, just a little bit, because I had to look up what each icon meant. But we never played it the base way. I love the little advanced way where the tiles are events, the roof tiles. Unbelievably, this is a great game, a really good game. Super happy I got it. You think it's for you? It's like I said, for a very cheap price, and in my opinion, it's well worth your time. All right, gamers, that's all the time I have for now. Until then, game on.